Should you have two LinkedIn profiles? You may be juggling two careers, or you may be juggling a career and a business. And so you're debating whether or not you should have two LinkedIn profiles. So my answer to the question is no, you should not have two LinkedIn profiles. And in this video, I'm going to detail to you 4 reasons why you should not have two LinkedIn profiles, even if you have two careers. So let's get into it. So the first reason why you should not have two LinkedIn profiles is that it's against LinkedIn's user agreement. So if you look at the service eligibility part of the LinkedIn user agreement, it does clearly state that each person should have one LinkedIn profile that is in their name, and having a second profile is basically in direct violation of LinkedIn's user agreement. And obviously for that reason there could be consequences, like the second LinkedIn profile being shut down or suspended. And it would be quite unfortunate to spend so much time to build a second LinkedIn profile that focuses on your side business or on your second career, and then to get months in and find out that your account is being canceled or removed or suspended because you cannot have a second account. So that's the first reason why you should focus on having one LinkedIn profile. The second reason why you should focus on having one LinkedIn profile is that you're splitting your reach. The reason that you are on LinkedIn is to build your personal brand, to increase your visibility, to network, to be able to meet new people in your industry, to share ideas with like-minded individuals. When you decide that you're going to have a second LinkedIn profile, you're essentially splitting your reach. And think about the amount of time that it takes to actually build a proper personal brand on one LinkedIn profile. And so now think of doing that 2 times. That's just so much work, so much energy, and so much effort that may not yield that much of a result. So focusing on one profile will help you in terms of being able to focus your time on that profile, and it'll also help you avoid confusion for people who are looking you up. If an employer is looking you up, or somebody in your industry goes on Google and is trying to search your name, or goes on LinkedIn and is trying to find you, you don't want there to be 2 accounts for you with similar pictures, and they realize that it's the same person, but now they have to figure out this profile is for this reason and that profile is for that reason. It just gets really confusing because now you're leaving the onus and the responsibility on the user to now figure out that this is my LinkedIn profile for my business, this is my LinkedIn profile for my day job. Nobody's going to take the time to figure out that puzzle and figure out how you've decided to set up your various LinkedIn profiles. So instead, focus on having one profile that tells a comprehensive story of your career path and of your journey and where you are now, instead of splitting your reach and your energy as well. The third thing is having a clear target. When it comes to your LinkedIn profile, you want it to be as targeted as possible, depending on what your goal and your purpose is and what you're trying to achieve with your LinkedIn profile. So for example, if you are job searching right now, you want your LinkedIn profile to be centered and to focus on your current employment target. So that means the industry, the role, as well as the kinds of companies that you're trying to attract. You're going to have messaging that is going to attract that kind of employer or recruiters who are looking for people with that expertise and knowledge. On the other hand, if you're more focused on your business, you're trying to build your business, trying to get business leads from LinkedIn, then you will focus on that audience as you're trying to attract clients towards your business. For another person, you're really maybe just focusing on networking. You're trying to reach other people who are like-minded, and you're trying to expand your visibility on the platform. So your why you're on the platform, your reason you're on the platform, will basically dictate how you're going to set up your account. So if really you're in a situation now that you are job searching and that's the main focus, then set up your LinkedIn profile to focus on your employment target and set it up so that it will get you that job as soon as possible, because that's your immediate focus. And it doesn't mean you can't change your LinkedIn profile in the long run. You can definitely change your LinkedIn profile once you land the job. You can update it to now focus maybe on your side business, or you can change it to add more keywords and more information on the second career that you have. But what's the immediate purpose for your profile right now? What are you trying to achieve with it? That will basically be how you want to focus your profile. So you don't need to focus on one or the other in terms of one career or one business, and that's what the profile will focus on. There are ways that you can still focus on the two aspects of what you're doing, but you always want to think of it from the perspective of what's most relevant for me right now. What's going to get me the results that I'm looking for right now? So that is how you want to think about it when you're building your LinkedIn profile. There are different ways that you can play around with your profile to showcase the two things that you are doing. One way that is common is that you can have your job title of your job and say by day, and then you can have the job title of your that you use in your business or your second career, and you can say by night, and then followed by your value proposition. And that already gives somebody a hint, even in your headline, that okay, this is a person that by day they focus on human resources, but in the evening they provide career coaching services to their clients. And that gives an idea that you have two responsibilities. Even if they're coming on your profile, they have that understanding right away. So there are different ways that you can structure your profile to showcase the two things that you're doing at the moment. The last thing is you want to be able to save your energy. It's really important that when you are building your personal brand or you're starting off on LinkedIn and you're trying to figure out the platform, it can be very time consuming and it also can be very intimidating. So don't create additional work for yourself by now having to create two brands or having to create two LinkedIn profiles. Instead, what you really want to do is take the time to build your career story. Take the time to look at those two responsibilities that you have. Are there any transferable skills? Is there any way that you can merge the story to tell a more compelling story of why you are building these two pathways at the same time? Take the time to tell a story about who you are, where you've been, where you're going. And when you are able to craft a story about what you do, people will understand it better, and you will find that you'll save a lot more energy in terms of how much time you're spending on LinkedIn. I know sometimes people get really excited and they're like, I'm going full on LinkedIn. I'm doing it all. I'm going to create content. I'm going to comment. They want to do everything that's happening on the platform. But unfortunately, when you go at it way too hard at once, you can end up burning yourself out because it can be overwhelming. And so think about it that way. Imagine one person building one profile, building one brand gets overwhelmed. So imagine if you were doing it for two profiles. It's just exhausting. So rethink your strategy. Instead of focusing on having two LinkedIn profiles, instead take the time to craft a compelling story about what you do. Craft a compelling story about what you have to offer, and focus on who you're serving with your brand. Who is going to come to your profile and look at your profile? Who are you trying to attract with your LinkedIn profile? As I said, building a personal brand on LinkedIn is an investment, and it is something that can take a lot of time. I have a video right here where I share how I was able to grow on LinkedIn from 400 followers to 35,000 in 18 months. I share the story of how I built my personal brand on the platform, so you can check out that video, and I will see you in that one. Take care.